We'll come back to that, but right now we have bout number 1 coming in from Great Britain, Leander. Leander's third year racing ahead of Charles Regatta with women's Champ 8s, having won in 2022.
What? So like I mentioned before, bout number 1, they are largely made up of British Olympic team athletes. And coming behind them, bout number 2 is Birian from Cork. This is the mix of the Grade 8 lightweight women from the Paris Olympic Games coming together to row an 8.
I see some Great Britain, I see Romania, I see Ireland, I see a bunch of different crews from there. And coming in number 3, we got Ukraine. Stern 4 finished 5th in the 4 at the Paris Olympics. Anastasia Konzankova, gold medalist at London in 2012.
And in bout number 4, Cambridge University, this crew includes a number of senior Olympic and under-23 representatives and medalists. Bout number 5, Molesley from UK as well, one of the leading women's programs in the UK. This crew will contain athletes with a host of national representations, most notably Holly Dunford, who was in the 8th in Paris 2024.
And coming in number 6, bow right now, we got Yale from New Haven, Connecticut. And number 7, bow, coming right by Riverside is Michigan. Michigan is 2024 Big Ten champs and placed 7th at the NCAAs.
And bout number 8, Virginia from Charlottesville, Virginia.
And coming in bout 9, we got Brown University from Providence, Rhode Island. Brown is second as a team at Ivy Champs, 6th as a team at NCAAs. And coming in number 10, we got Brown University again. And shortly right behind them is bout 11 from Washington University. This is University of Washington's women's rowing team. Rocking those high-vis Washington unis.
Bout number 12, Syracuse University. They are the 2024 ACC champs, and this is their first time in team history being champions in that regatta.
Bout 13 coming into view shortly is Princeton. This is the Princeton's open women team. Yeah. Bout 14 coming into view is Yale, all the way from New Haven, Connecticut. It looks like Williams' team, they might be choosing a little bit of a different line than all the other crews. They're going by the arch closest to the Cambridge side. Bout 15, we got Washington also coming through.
And bout number 16, you can tell them from the black and orange blades, Princeton University.
Now bout 17 with a very tight line here. We got BU. They are familiar with this river. Sounds like and looks like that Coxon's taking a very aggressive line.
Well, there's a lot to learn from that, knowing that this is their home ground. All right, bout number 18 coming up behind them, Northeastern University. Northeastern won their 10th consecutive CAA championships and rode in their 10th consecutive NCAA champs this year.
Bout 19 coming into view is Radcliffe. Radcliffe is right from Boston, Massachusetts, and this is their open weight team.
And Ross, Radcliffe is from Boston because they are the Harvard women's team.
They are the Harvard women's team. It's good to know.
All right, we have an international crew here in bow number 20 from Minerva, Amsterdam. It's a Dutch rowing club established in 1897. These days, Minerva focuses on offering talented student rowers to gain international rowing experience.
But closely by Minerva is bow 21, which is Rhode Island. This is URI women's rowing team.
And we have another international crew here in bow number 22, Skol, Amsterdam. This is their first women's 8 out of Skol. Every post-Olympic year, they will send an 8 to Boston to compete. Bent Boonstra is Olympic and world champion in the women's 4s, and Nika Vos was runner-up in the women's quad in the 2022 World Championships. And bow number 23, we have Oxford University Boat Club. All right, we have another international crew coming up here in bow number 24 from France. I apologize in advance for how I pronounce names. Enco Helen Laffer has raced for many years in the French women's doubles. She came in 4th in Rio, 8th in Tokyo. Adele and Marie were both on the French national team this past year. Floriane and Alice also in the under-23 and senior teams. Lucy just won bronze at the under-23 World Championship.
And we have bow 25 coming in, which is Cambridge. Crew includes a number of experienced CUBC athletes and incoming athletes from a number of high-profile programs.
And number 26, Dartmouth from New Hampshire. They made their grand final at Ivy League champs for the first time since 2018. They placed 6th in the Ivy League and the women's sprints. And all the athletes are returning from their 2024 V8.
Willem?
There's one more behind me.
Coming into view shortly is bound number 27, Willem from the Netherlands. As a mix of former Nearest rowers with both national and international experience, we now combine full-time jobs with staying fit and having fun on the water. Welcome to Boston, guys.
We have another Harvard women's crew here, Radcliffe, with their open weight team at bow number 28.
And bow number 29 coming close into view next, we got Clemson. This is the first V8 for Clemson.
Next boat is white with the orange unis.
There's a lot of Dutch crews out here, and to wrap up this event, we have Skadi from Netherlands. This is a Dutch crew from Rotterdam.
One of the great things about this event is it brings crews from all over the world, all over the 50 states, and all of them out here competing on the Charles River, and it's just something really spectacular to witness.
For sure, and the women's champs 8, they're all vying for the governor's trophy.
We'd also like to give a shout out to Vineyard Vines, Get the Good Life. We're proud to announce that Vineyard Vines is the official style of the 2024 Head of the Charles Regatta. Stop by their location next to the Elliott Bridge enclosure and check out their limited edition gear. You might be seeing some of the volunteers rock some of Vineyard Vines gear. You can find that type of style and attire at the Vineyard Vines booth right by the Elliott Bridge enclosure. We'd also like to thank WBR. WBR is the official media partner of the Head of the Charles Regatta. Be sure to stop at the booth at the Weld Exhibition venue. Thank you, WBR. And be sure to tune in to 90.9, Boston's NPR news station.
So we've seen the champs 8 men, the women's 8, the heavyweights. Now is the women's lightweight 8 in event number 68. They're launching off at 2:37 p.m. Last year, Radcliffe won this event with a time of 17 minutes 15 seconds, followed by BU 17:19 and Princeton with third position with 17:25. The course record was set by Stanford University in 2017 with 15 minutes and 46 seconds. The women's lightweight 8 is always a great early season to look at the women's lightweight collegiate field. Local crews from Boston University, MIT, and Radcliffe will be excited to perform on their home river against crews from Princeton, Georgetown, and more. Radcliffe won this event by 4 seconds last year and will start off this event with bow number 1.
So we know we had a geese count earlier. I think some of those geese got scared off by those champ 8s because there is not a goose in sight. So looking beautiful for these crews that are going to be coming down momentarily.
There's only 8 boats in this race, so it's going to be a very competitive field out here for this women lightweight 8. And they're all vying for the City of Boston trophy.
Now, Aisha, I heard some louder cheering for the crews from Australia. Is there any particular reason as to why that was the case?
No. So I was training in Australia for my Paris Olympic campaign, and there are some crews out here from Sydney University who are representing in the, what do you call it?
Doesn't matter.
The World Lightweight Rowing Alliance, and their goal and their dream is to keep the more lightweight events in the Olympic Games. So they want to have more events, but maybe not at the Olympic Games.
I know they're fighting not to be. Bound number 1 is coming in. It's Radcliffe. This is Harvard women's lightweight women's team, looking strong. And coming in, bound number 2, we got BU women taking a little bit more of aggressive line. This is BU's lightweight 8 team. Now you can see those coxswains in a very aerodynamic position, trying to get as low as possible, trying to encourage their crew on. We got bound number 3 coming in, which is Princeton. This is Princeton's lightweight women's team. Looks like we've got some stripes on Princeton's boat.
So it is interesting to see the local teams and teams coming from all over the U.S. trying to steer this corner. Coming up, we have bow number 4 from Washington, D.C., Georgetown University, and they've raced here before.
Returning to the head of the charge, and we got some overlap coming in here, some crews making a move. We got bow number 5, followed closely by bow number 6. Bow number 5 is MIT. But bound number 6, hot on their tails. Aisha, I'll let you take this one.
Woohoo! So from Australia here, the Aussie lightweight women's team. Some of them are from Sydney University. Go Phoebe! And again, as we say, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie!
Oi, oi, oi! Followed by number 7 coming in. This is Stanford. Stanford's all the way from California, and this is Stanford Lights, and they're ready to go fast and have some fun on this course. Hopefully all those crews are going fast and having some fun.
They look like they're having fun out here. And to wrap up this really small field but very competitive field, we have bound number 8 from Wisconsin, University of Wisconsin.
Now this is a memory that a lot of these crews and a lot of the rowers will cherish because this is one of the most iconic rowing races out there, and I think it's something that all these rowers, whether you're doing it in collegiate to masters, it's something we can all take away and cherish and have it be a memory that will last a lifetime. Where are we? Is it? So following up from the lightweight women's 8, we actually have the women's collegiate 8 set to go off at event 69, set to go off at